Joining us now is Chad Wolf, former acting Department of Homeland Security Secretary under President Trump. He's also a Heritage Foundation visiting fellow. Mr. Secretary, welcome. You have seen the Biden administration dismantle some Trump immigration policies. What bothers you the most? Which one do you think is the most dangerous to have not deployed?
Well, there's certainly a number of them. The Remain in Mexico program, our MPP program that they canceled, is a big issue and one that is certainly a cause of concern. That program allowed individuals seeking asylum to remain in Mexico until their immigration court proceeding and allow them to come over the border. What we've seen is the Biden administration dismantle that program and allow those individuals to come across the border into the U.S. where they stay and wait for their immigration proceeding. And what we know by the data, and the data tells us this, that the vast majority of them do not show up for those court hearings. So that is a cause of concern. That is the catch and release that we have talked about, that the Trump administration was very successful in ending. So that one, along with the border wall construction that you mentioned as well, that construction in that border wall system is absolutely necessary. If you talk to the men and women of the Border Patrol, they need that impedance and denial that wall system provides them. And to just stop construction when you have steel sitting there on the ground ready to be installed, you have the roads, the cameras, and the sensors. Late at night, as you indicated, certainly the cartels, the smugglers, and the traffickers are going to take advantage of the holes in that system. And it's very easy to do. Contractors were in place. We were building 3, 4, 5 miles a day at the end of the Trump administration. So there's a number of things that the current team can do.
Mr. Wolf, we're looking live at the Fox drone. We're looking at the wall. We're looking right at the Trump wall. Can we bring that, guys, can bring that picture up again? There it is. You got a road. There's no gate. You got a big, gigantic space. I'm not even going to call it a hole. It's a space on the right. Griff Jenkins on the ground there says at night they just come on right on through. Your thoughts looking at that wall and the fact that, I mean, look, it really is a monument to what? To something that, well, it's not working now, apparently. You know, we spent all this money and trouble to build that wall. We're getting closer to it. Just take a look. It's like it's rusting. It's not even, doesn't even matter if it's there. Look at this big space. What are your thoughts, Mr. Secretary?
So there's been there's been a lot of work that's gone into that border wall system over the number of years. It's not in every mile along that border. The men and women of the Border Patrol identified high priority, high risk areas where they need that border wall system so that they could redeploy their assets elsewhere. So that's what you're seeing today, and that's where we were constructing over 500 miles of that border wall system. It's effective. We know it's effective. We know it reduces illegal crossings. It reduces crime in those areas. And the fact that the current administration doesn't want to continue the great work that was done over the last several years, I think, to fulfill a political promise on the campaign trail. When you have law enforcement officers in the Department of Homeland Security that says this works, from an operator standpoint, this works, and you have political appointees elsewhere in the administration that says, no, we're not going to give you the tools to do your job, that is concerning. And we know whether it's in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas and elsewhere, there are high priority areas that need that impedance and denial. It works. The data shows that it works. Yeah. It worked in San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it works if the wall's the wall. I mean, if you can't get around the wall, but right. I mean, it's not going to work there. As the camera pans right with that drone, I mean, it works if the wall is a complete wall. This obviously is not a complete wall. Therefore, your thoughts on the fact that you can walk right through it.
Yeah, again, we had a lot of the steel that was ready to put in those gaps or to fill in those gaps to complete the wall system. We're down on the southwest border, so the administration is going to have to cancel those contracts, and I know they've started doing that. It's going to cost the American taxpayer almost as much money to cancel those contracts as it will to fulfill the contracts and to get that border wall system. And I will just say that, it's interesting. Shortly after the January 6th events in D.C., one of the first things that most of the Democrats did here in the Capitol was to put up a wall and put up a fence around the U.S. Capitol to protect themselves other members of Congress and their
well,
staff.
They need that. I
If
mean,
it's
look,
good enough for them.
we had a yeah, but don't go there because we had an attack, a domestic attack on our capital, and it's needed for security.
Right, but
it's
the
total two
the
unequal
impedance and
things
denial,
to try and bring that up. Oh, I know, but you can't.
The
That's
impedance
the
and
total
denial that they need.
I got what you're saying, but that's not a moral equation. When you're dealing with illegal immigration and attack on our democracy like we saw at Capitol Hill, in all due respect. Bottom line is, when you look at that wall down there and that hole, what would you suggest the Biden administration do about that?
Well, obviously, the first thing that they can do is finish the border wall construction. If they choose not to do that, they're going to have to redeploy assets to address the illegal crossings in those areas. And what that's going to do at the end of the day is you're going to take assets from other parts of the border that need it. They're taking individuals from the northern border, CBP officers, Border Patrol officers from the northern border, and deploying them down there. They're asking for more resources from elsewhere in the department to go down to the border. So there's clearly a manpower issue at the border today to address what's going on. And so they have some tools there. They can finish border wall construction to address some of those high priority areas.
And we will be following this up. Chad Wolf, former Homeland Security Secretary in the Trump administration. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for walking us through the wall. That doesn't seem like too much of a wall anymore. Mr. Wolf, thank you.
Thank you.